Hello everyone, FPL Willem here. In this video I will show you guys my Limitless draft, as I think it will be popular in Gameweek 3. I've taken in the best squads with the best fixtures for this week as well. And before we start, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe and like this video, which will help me to my YouTube journey. So, let's get on to the teams. The teams, to start off, I want to show you guys my favorite teams this week who have the best fixtures. This means teams like Real Madrid and Dortmund won't be included as they play against each other. To name the teams you can see on the list, it's on Tuesday AC Milan at home against Brugge, Arsenal at home against Shakhtar, Aston Villa at home against Bologna, Girona at home against Slovan Bratislava, it's getting a bit of a pattern here. Juventus at home against Stuttgart, Monaco at home against Red Star, and PSG at home against PSV, and the last one is Sporting away against Sturm Graz. As you can see, as I said, the fixtures for a great pattern at the Tuesday at home. Now for the Wednesday, it's Atalanta at home against Celtic, it's Atletico Madrid at home against Lille, Bayer Leverkusen away against Brest, Benfica at home against Feyenoord, Inter away against Young Boys, then Liverpool away against Leipzig. This one is, I think the most tricky one, but still Leipzig haven't shown all too well in the Champions League. And then last but not least is Manchester City at home against Sparta Prague. This doesn't mean I will include a player from every team here, but I just wanted to show you guys my favorite fixtures. And now quickly, before we move on to the team, I will show you an alternative team after the first team. If you don't trust certain players, like Manchester City players will be included in the first draft, who might not be guaranteed a spot in the first 11, like questionable like Foden or Rico Lewis or Haaland, who might be playing 60 or 70 minutes. So yeah, let's move on to my first team. So to start off in the goalkeeper department, I've gone with Raya on the Tuesday. Arsenal play against Shakhtar at home, and Arsenal has shown a great defense over the past few years and this season as well. In the last two Champions League matches, they've kept a clean sheet against Atalanta and Paris Saint-Germain. Raya even kept a penalty against Atalanta and Paris Saint-Germain. Also never had that low of an expected goal statistics in the Champions League match, in 8 Champions League matches. That's how good the defense is of Arsenal. Atalanta kept an easy clean sheet out against Shakhtar, the opponent from Arsenal. So Arsenal should be able at least to do the same. The only thing you might miss out on is save points, as I don't expect Raya to make more or even 3 saves in the game. So yeah. On the Wednesday, I've gone with Sommer. If Raya doesn't work out, which I expect he will work out. If that doesn't work out, on the Wednesday I've gone with Sommer, who play against Young Boys away. Now Young Boys haven't gotten a goal so far in the competition, and Inter haven't conceded a goal yet. So sounds like a great option for a keeper. When Inter gets shots on goal, they are most often from quite far and easy saves for the keeper, so that could lead on to like 3 points or 3 saves for 1 point for Sommer. So that might be something you can consider for Wednesday. Now in the defense, I've gone with Gabriel, Hernandez, Frimpong, Ba and Lewis. Now to start off with Gabriel, I don't have too much to add with Gabriel, as I've said most with Raya in goal. To add on to the Raya dialogue, Gabriel has some great attacking threat, as he scored twice with his head with set pieces against Spurs and Man City in the league, so not the worst opponent. So once again, it's against Shakhtar, where I expect a clean sheet at home from Arsenal. Now next to Gabriel is Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez from AC Milan play against Brugge at home. Brugge isn't doing all too well in the Belgium league, and they haven't been all too exciting in the Champions League with a 3-0 loss against Dortmund, and they barely won against Sturm Graz with a 1-0. And I can tell you guys, that was the most boring game I've ever seen. Now Milan hasn't done great in the Champions League yet, but they've played against Liverpool and Leverkusen, who are much more strong opponents than Brugge has had. Theo Hernandez has scored twice and assisted twice in the league, and he even took a penalty against Fiorentina, which he sadly missed, so I don't know if he's still on. I don't expect Hernandez to get a clean sheet, but it's not impossible against Brugge. And I do expect Hernandez to get some attacking returns in like an assist or maybe even a goal. If he doesn't get a goal or an assist, at least he will play on the Tuesday, so you can transfer him out easily. And next up to Hernandez is Frimpong. Frimpong has great stats this season with 1 goal and 1 assist in the league and 3 assists in the Champions League. He also got 2 clean sheets against Feyenoord and AC Milan. Leverkusen play against Brest away, and although they won both their Champions League matches against Salzburg and Sturm Graz, I do expect them to be swept away by Xavi Alonso's Leverkusen side. Now next to Frimpong is Ba. Ba plays for Benfica and Benfica plays against Feyenoord. Benfica destroyed Atletico Madrid with a 4-0 win, and Ba scored a goal and got 10 recoveries as well. So important is always the recoveries. If you get like 9 recoveries, it's basically an assist. Now expecting an attacking return from a central defender is a bit of a stretch, as I said. But as I said as well, ball recoveries are going to be a certain against Feyenoord, who have been sloppy when in possession. With a possible clean sheet, this could be a good combo. So that means 6 points for a clean sheet or 4 points for a clean sheet. But I expect them to play 60 minutes as well, so that means 6 points. And then some ball recoveries could count up to 9 points and maybe even the odd goal. But I expect at least 9 ball recoveries in that game from Ba. Next up, as last one of the defenders, is Rico Lewis. Now Rico Lewis is a City player. A City player is always a bit of a gamble, especially because they play on the Wednesday, at least for this week. Next week they play on the Tuesday, so if you want to take a gamble, at least then you can sub him out. But if he doesn't play, you can't sub him out. But if he plays, Lewis is a great pick. He has been extremely lively in the last 2 fixtures with only a single assist on his name. But if you watch the games, he could have at least scored or assisted a few more. He also gets around 3 ball recoveries per game, and at home against Sparta Prague there's also a great potential for a clean sheet. Lewis played 10 out of the possible 11 games, with only missing the Arsenal games, and in most of them he played 90 or at least 80 minutes. But yeah, I don't know if that's good that he played most of the games, or if it's bad that he might be overplayed a bit too much, but that's for you to decide. Now next up is the midfield department. I've started off with another City player named Foden. Same as Lewis, if Foden plays, it's a great pick. One of the best differentials you're gonna find. He did start last game, and in my personal opinion, I think and I expect him to at least make some minutes, and I actually expect him to start as well. He got Man of the Match award last game with a goal and 1 assist. If Foden plays, he will be extremely lively against Sparta Prague. Don't expect any ball recoveries, but expect a lot of attacking threat there. Next to Foden is Saka. Saka is the 3rd Arsenal player I've gone with in this team. Now a quick note that he has gone off with a bit of a hamstring injury, so keep a close eye on that. But it wasn't anything major, and Saka has these quite often where he plays the next game. Saka is also on penalties and gets a load of goals and assists in the league and in cup games. I expect Saka to at least get a return, and as a midfielder he gets an extra clean sheet point and an extra point compared to forward who are scoring. Up next to Saka, I've gone with Pulisic. Pulisic is a great player with the stats backing him up, with 2 assists and 5 goals so far in the league, and he scored a goal against Liverpool in the Champions League. Pulisic might be one of, well, at least a bit of a more risky player, but he plays on the Tuesday, so if he doesn't perform, you can always sub him out. But I expect to get some returns against Brugge at home. Next to Pulisic is Lookman. I had Lookman myself as captain last week, and it worked out quite well with 14 points. Lookman didn't play the first game against Arsenal because of an injury, but he came up with a Man of the Match award performance against Shakhtar, and he had an assist, a goal and a clean sheet point. He did, scarily enough, I thought he got subbed out at the 59th minute, but he got subbed out at the 60th minute, so that meant I got 2 extra points, at least 4 extra points as I've captained him. But that was mostly because the game was sealed. He got, as I said, it was sealed. It was 3-0 for Atalanta, and they wanted to save the best man, I guess. Atalanta play against Celtic at home, and with Dortmund scoring 7, I expect Atalanta to put in at least a few goals as well, as Celtic have shown. In the league, a better defense, but the Scottish league isn't all too great compared to Italian league, I guess. And last but not least, I've gone with Wirtz on the right side. Wirtz has got in the last 2 games 2 goals and 2 clean sheets and 2 Player of the Match award. He played in both matches, great against Feyenoord and Milan. And with Brest coming up, I expect him to haul once more. Now, ending it off with the attack, with the forwards, I've gone with Haaland, Vlahovic and Griezmann. I always say Griezmann. I've heard it once and now I just keep reminding myself it's Griezmann, but I know it's Griezmann, or I don't know, I'm rambling. Starting off with Haaland. I guess, what else should I say than Haaland is Haaland, and I think I've said enough about his abilities there. Now Haaland did get subbed out at the 60th minute against Slovan Bratislava, and you can expect him to get basically the same against Sparta Prague. Really depends on the scoreline, what it is at the 60th minute. I hope he at least get one return before that, as he can be subbed off there. But yeah, you can just you can get around Haaland. I feel like you can get around Haaland, only if you expect him to maybe play 45 minutes. Next to Haaland is Vlahovic. Vlahovic is quite on fire with 2 goals and 1 assist in the last game, and a Player of the Match award in the last 2 games. In the league he scored 5 goals in 7 matches, and with Stuttgart coming up, who are difficult to rate as they can win against Dortmund with 5-1, but they've drawn also against Sparta Prague and Hoffenheim in the league. Then I feel like, I think Vlahovic can nick a goal in and possibly more and get another Man of the Match award there. And last in his first draft is Griezmann, not Griezmann, Griezmann. I found it difficult to pick him, but I think he's a great option. There are lots of other options, but I've gone with Griezmann. Now the whole Atletico Madrid did terrible against Benfica last game. Griezmann is always something like the shining light for Atletico Madrid. He scored and assisted against Leipzig in the first game, which got him as well a Man of the Match award. As I'm rambling right now, I can tell everyone, I feel like everyone got a Man of the Match award in his team last game. So maybe I'm a bit of trying to stalk the points from last game. But as I said, against Leipzig he scored and assisted as well there. In the league he assisted 4 goals and he scored 2 goals himself. And don't forget that he is also on penalties. So this is basically my team, my first draft. Let's go on to my second draft, where I've taken out the City defender, the City players at least, for the potential for not playing, and I've taken out some other players as well, which you might wanna just take out, or because there are other great options. So let's move on to my second team. Now in the defense of my second team, I found out that Gabriel and Hernandez are quite difficult to replace them, so I've kept Gabriel and Hernandez in. For Gabriel you could choose Saliba, and for Hernandez, you couldn't choose anyone. I feel like Hernandez is not essential, no one is essential, but quite close to essential, as he has some great attacking threat, and he has Brugge at home, so there could be clean sheet potential as well there. And with Gabriel, as I said, you could choose Saliba, but Gabriel has shown to be a more attacking threat, and all the other stats are quite the same, so not really a lot to differentiate from these 2 guys. Next up is Grimaldo. Grimaldo is basically a copy of Frimpong, his teammate on the other side of the defense. There's only 1 point in the last 2 games combined to differentiate them. They all, he got an assist, and I think he got 2 assists as well, same as Frimpong. It's just an alternative. You will always see that when you choose Grimaldo, Frimpong will be better, and when you choose Frimpong, Grimaldo will be better. If that happens, accept it. That's how the UCL fancy, sometimes and often works actually. Next to Grimaldo, I've gone with a bit of a differentiate pick with Jimenez. Jimenez, as I said, got a place in his team after losing 4-0 against Benfica. I think Atleti will show something else in the coming up home game against Lille. Jimenez did score against Leipzig, but don't expect him to get any returns from Jimenez. With 21 ball recoveries in 2 games, you can expect some guaranteed points. He is on 2 points, so if you're not playing Limitless, you should be thinking about him, not putting him in your team. 2 yellow cards in 2 games. A 3rd yellow card means he will miss the 4th game. So if you're not limitlessing, but you are watching this video for any tips, think about that he could be on a suspension if he gets another yellow. Last on the second draft in the defense is Gatti. with Gatti you can expect the same as Jimenez, but with a bigger clean sheet potential. Juventus have been insane with getting clean sheets in the league. Now they haven't scored in every single game, but almost in every game they got a clean sheet. Juventus play against Stuttgart at home, and Juve has shown resilience in the defending, as I said. Gatti recovered 17 balls in 141 minutes, and quick maths, that's basically 1.5 games, so that could round up to 20 in 180 minutes. So that's 10 per game. Bremer is out for the season. That's the defender he was substituted in the early minutes against Leipzig, and he won't play again, Bremer. So you can expect Gatti to play full games, so 90 minutes for him. Let's move on to the midfield. So in the midfield, I've decided to keep Lookman and Wirtz. I find it quite difficult to replace them with the fixtures they have and the potential they have. So I've decided to keep those 2 players, but I did get 3 other players, starting off with Salah. Now, Salah is the only Liverpool player I have here, and I think he's a great option. Liverpool has shown great in the attack, and Leipzig lost against a 10-man Juve, being 2-1 in front and losing 2-3. So the defense is isn't all too great, let's say it like that, and I expect at least Salah to get some returns there. Salah got a goal and an assist against Bologna last match, picking up the Man of the Match award, and he played in the last 2 Champions League matches 90 minutes. Next up to Salah is Dembele, or Dembele, whatever you want to pronounce it. Paris Saint-Germain play against PSV Eindhoven, where I don't expect to keep a clean sheet for Dembele, so that I don't expect to get him that 1 point, but yeah, that's just a 1 point. It won't be that much of a biggie. I expect Paris to at least score 2 or 3 goals against PSV Eindhoven, as PSV is quite attacking, but the defense isn't all too well. Well, in the league it is, but the Dutch league is quite difficult to rate, as there are only maybe 4 teams who are great, and then after it's just a bit meh. And with Dembele on the field this time, instead of against Arsenal, where he didn't play because of disciplinary reasons with Luis Enrique, there's a big chance for him to be on the score sheet. If you don't trust it, I have one more thing to say about Dembele. He plays on the Tuesday, so if he doesn't perform, at least you can sub him out for another player. Up next to Dembele is Kokcu. I've always found it difficult to rate the Portuguese teams, same as I said with the Dutch teams, as their league isn't all too great except for the top 4, as I said before. So even if they aren't playing all too well against lesser teams, they still win. So it's if you don't watch the games, as I don't watch the Portuguese league, it's a bit more difficult to rate how they played. You can see they won all their games, but did they really play well? I don't know. But Kokcu has shown both in the league and in the Champions League loads of returns, with scoring against Red Star and Atletico Madrid, and also picking Man of the Match award against Atletico Madrid there as well. He has shown he can do it in the big games, but don't expect ball recovery. Same with Salah, he isn't doing that all too much. Quite maybe a bit of a lazy player, but just an attacking player. So from attacking players you don't expect the ball recoveries there, but some returns. I expect some returns from Kokcu, especially against Feyenoord, who are not that great in defending, as they've shown against Girona as well. With I feel like there was an own goal there as well. It was a crazy match. Should we watch it back? But that's a midfield. Moving on to the forwards from the second team. Now, last slide of this video. I've decided to keep Vlahovic in as a game against Stuttgart at home. You shouldn't miss him out. He scored twice against Leipzig with 10 men. So Stuttgart, I have Leipzig, well, the league in Germany even has Leipzig higher than Stuttgart. So I expect Vlahovic to get some returns there as well. So I kept him in, and I feel like he's quite essential there as well. I've gone left from him with Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has shown last season that he is a goal machine. With the game against Bologna at home, I expect him to nick in a few goals there as well. Watkins can have the 70th minute substitution, maybe earlier, maybe a bit later, for his teammate Duran. This has shown quite frequently in the last few games in the Champions League, but also in the Premier League there as well. So still enough time in 70 minutes to score, hopefully 2, maybe picking up the Man of the Match award. But also a chance if they are up front with 3-0 or something and Watkins hasn't scored and this is 60th minute. Same goes with Lookman against who was a Shakhtar. He can be subbed off earlier than for Duran. So I feel like he is gonna be subbed out, or if they're 1-0 behind, Duran will be substituted in for someone else. But expect a 70 minutes substitution for his teammate Duran there. And right from Vlahovic, my last player in this team, I've gone with Gyökeres. Gyökeres has shown great in the league. I've talked about him in the last few videos. He scored in the Champions League against Lille as well, which earned him a Man of the Match award there. He was quite lackluster against PSV Eindhoven, where Sporting had a bit of an off day, but I feel like everyone can have it. But maybe, yeah, if you're scared of another off day, you shouldn't pick him. With one of the worst teams in the Champions League in Sturm Graz, I expect Gyökeres to get some returns. So that's basically my two Limitless teams, one with City players and some other players as well there, and the second team right on your screen now. If you have any advice or at least other players I should have think about, I've gone with most of the teams, at least the teams I've shown in the first slide, with the green fixtures at home. Yeah, best fixtures and best teams, except for Liverpool, where's Leipzig, and I've gone with a bit of a yellow, but I still expect Liverpool to win that game. As I said, if you have any players I've missed out, leave it in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe. I want to hit the 100 mark, I guess, before the end of the season. I'm at 60 now. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but can a man dream. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye bye.